Hello and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for visiting. I really appreciate it. My name's Tomasi and I just wanted to cover off on 4 key things that new rugby coaches should be aware of. I am a game development officer at the Queensland Rugby Union. I am a World Rugby Educator as well. I support the delivery of foundation courses and also level 2 developing coach course across all of Queensland. I also support rugby programs at school and develop rugby programs in schools, and also get the clubs to become involved with that as well, and create that link at grassroots level between school and club to create that pathway of players coming through the school system into clubland as well. During my time, I've also been fortunate enough to attend Queensland Academy of Sport seminars, and those coaches at the Queensland Academy of Sport have gone on to work with Rugby Australia in their Sevens program. So there's a vast range of experience that I've been exposed to, which I've really enjoyed. And for me, I just take little bits of knowledge here and there and put them in my toolbox for when I need to bring them out. This year, I had a chat to the director of rugby at a GPS school, and I was very fortunate to get my own team this year to coach. I just discussed the factors of me wanting to ride the highs and lows of coaching a schoolboy rugby team, and I've really enjoyed the challenge. It's been absolutely fantastic so far, and just really loving the coaching process. Number 1 is to understand the key group that you're working with. Okay, it's really important. Understand their age and also understand their knowledge, skills, and experience. Okay, so for me, how you coach at a 5 to 7 year old age group is going to be vastly different to that under 15 age group. That's just for an example. Okay, then it's going to even differ from under 15s to through to your Colts level and representative grades. The things that you can take out of it. So, if you look at a 5 to 6 year old age group playing rugby on the weekend, they pretty much pass and then are very excited and all want the ball, and they run to the ball, and you can pretty much throw a cast net over them. Where at the 15-year-old level and as they get older, they understand the concept of spatial awareness and things like that, and spreading the ball to that space. So with that being said, understanding the age and understanding the knowledge, skills, and experience. So for me, this year I'm coaching an under 15s group, and for me it was really important to start to develop their minds around attack structures and defensive patterns. This is the age group under 15s. I believe firmly that this is the age group where they will start to get eyes on them more and more in terms of scouting opportunities and things like that. I think this is a really great age to build the fundamentals of the skills that we need for a solid rugby player. So tackling, ball playing, a bit of rugby IQ. Those things start to play really heavily into their development moving forward from here on in. For me, I was very fortunate. The knowledge, skills, and experience amongst the group was pretty good. I came in and not knowing the group at all. It was my first year coaching, and for me, what I'd understood was I needed to establish a baseline of skill sets and establish a baseline for a team of who I wanted to play in what position. So I ran a really close quarters drill, just a basic catch pass, looking at the fundamentals of the catch pass. So really, I didn't really coach them too much. I just said, righto, here's a line of 4. We're just going to move the ball through the hands, moving on the move. Okay, so we weren't static. Pardon me. We were not static. So we were on the move, and then from there I was able to identify if the players were, meeting and reaching for the ball, and then being able to have a good ball transfer across the body, not dipping late or not dipping and then trying to reload and pass. So it's pretty much from one movement here to straight across the body. That's the kind of stuff I was looking for. Also their footwork as well, making sure that they were facing the right way. The body was turned into where the ball's coming from. They're creating a target for that passer or that ball player to hit. And that was all pretty good. So I would say, you're starting to identify the skills that you need for your team. So number 1 would be understanding the age group that you're working with. Number 2 is to create a coaching framework that best suits your coaching style and your team that you have. So for me, I identified very early on that we were very much a smaller pack in the forwards, but we had a little bit more speed and a little bit more ball playing ability, a little bit wider. So for me, what I wanted to do was really be able to stretch defenses. Straight off the bat, I thought, okay, we're not going to roll straight through a lot of these teams. We're going to have to play a little bit wider and punch holes a little bit wider and play off the back of that. So for me, what I did was I was able to then sort of employ an attack structure of a 2-4-2 or 1-3-3-1, depending on which way I wanted to go. But once again, it was about giving those players the potential to understand what a 1-3-3-1 attack concept looks like and what a 2-4-2 attack structure looks like. Sorry, not concept, structure. So for me, number 2 is creating a coaching framework that best suits your coaching style and the team that you have. For us, when we first did the team run at rugby camp, what I noticed was they were just working straight to one side and then swinging it back the other way. And for me, I wanted to get away from that because I believe that at this age group, once again, we're starting to develop a fundamental knowledge of the game. We're starting to really build rugby IQ here. So I talked to them about a 2-4-2 attack structure and having 2 forwards in the alpha channel, 4 forwards in the Bravo, and 2 forwards in the Charlie channel. And we were able to really, really work that very, very well from here on in. We drilled it a lot, and they were a little bit confused at the start. They were saying, "Oh, why can't we just work to one edge and swing it back?" Well, you can. You can, but realistically, it's probably a little bit boring. That way, that pattern of rugby, and I don't know. I just didn't really like it, and I thought that I wanted to build these guys' knowledge around attack structures. So that's what I employed, and they've been really, really taking onto it. So it's been really great to see them execute the attack strategy, attacking platform as we're going through each week. Number 3 is being able to provide a safe and comfortable environment for these players to attend. So, training is going to be fun. They've been in school all day. They come down to the rugby pitch at 3 p.m. They want to have a joke and all that sort of stuff. And I'm in on the joke as well. I love having a laugh with those guys. I think it's great. Keeps me youthful. But yeah, at the same time, there's stuff that we've got to get on with because we want to win games. So providing a safe and comfortable environment. And by that I mean, if you're going to run do defensive drills, being able to provide a safe environment for that, very, very controlled, and have eyes on all the time. And once again, you want to understand their knowledge, skills, and experience around the tackle, for example. So if we're doing a defense block, what we'll usually do is just work on the basic fundamentals of the tackle. So getting our foot in nice and close, getting our shoulder, our head positioning, all that sort of stuff. We'll do that. We'll drill that a few times, make sure they're primed, ready to go, and then we'll go into full tilt contact. Obviously, as a coach, I don't think you get any value out of just going full tilt contact if you don't actually establish a base level of knowledge around how to tackle properly. I've seen it done before where there's been a new team created and the coach that I was reviewing, he pretty much just ran straight into full tilt contact. And for me, the players were getting frustrated because they couldn't tackle properly. The coach was getting frustrated, and it just wasn't a very good environment. And for me, safety, and A, is safety. It's a safety issue. And B, also, if a player gets hurt too many times or gets hurt at all, they might put the cue in the rack and go, "Oh, I don't want to be here. I don't want to play rugby. I'll go do something else." And for me, we obviously want people to play sport. We want people to play rugby as well. So being able to provide a safe and comfortable environment is something that is really, really key. 4 is building a rapport. So building a rapport also comes with enjoyment. Okay, so you're building a rapport with these players. You're starting to understand what makes them tick. So you really want to be positive. You obviously want to be able to call them out as well when they're doing something negative. Okay, and you want to be able to coach those coachable moments. You want to be able to really execute on those. So, for example, yesterday we were doing a defensive drill where it was a 2-on-1 scenario where you had 2 defenders on 1 attacker. Okay, and it was just a contact scenario. So we're only working in a grid of about 10 meters. They would pretty much run around both markers into the grid, and then the defenders would have to make a tackle in that grid. And what was happening was players weren't sort of getting the correct body positioning. So we broke it. We stripped it right back. We had to work right back and say, I was really working with the group to say that you have to get your foot in close first. And that was really the first thing that notice as they were going around into the grid was their footwork was all off. We had people planting their feet. We had people sort of putting late footwork on and bamboozling the defender, and the defender was getting himself into all sorts of trouble. So had to really strip it back. And, as we progressed, we got good. And then I was able to sort of really, really be a little bit harder on those specific players. And from there, it actually worked really, really well, because those specific players that I was calling out in that drill actually became really, really good at the skill set. I'm not saying that works every time, but I was a little bit harder on them, saying, come on, such and such, you need to get your foot in there. Okay, we've just talked about it. And then they started to, I don't know, maybe get a little bit more angry about it, that they weren't doing it, that I was harsh on them. And then from then on, it was, foot in contact, shoulder in, leg drive. They were stopping, they were sticking and squeezing, all that good stuff. And it turned out to be a really, really positive session. After the session, we had a joke and a laugh and things like that. And that's what I'm all about, is, building a rapport with your players and being able to have a joke and a laugh, but also being able to be very, very serious when you need to be. So for me, they are my 4 key tips. So to recap, it is understanding the group that you're working with in terms of their age group and knowledge, skills and experience. Creating a coaching framework that best suits yourself, your coaching style and your team. Number 3 is providing a safe and comfortable environment to come and train and play rugby in. And number 4 is building a rapport and, of course, enjoying yourself and having them enjoy themselves at rugby. Thank you so much. That are my 4 key tips. Really appreciate you tuning into the channel. Stay tuned for more. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you agree, disagree. Let's open up some conversations. Really, really keen to get your thoughts on what you think about rugby coaching. There'll be some more videos coming out in the next little bit. I'm not sure when, but I'll get around to them and I'll bring them out. And hopefully tune in and let me know what you think. Thank you so much. Visit us on Instagram, the Donnell Edition. Check us out on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.